Episode 26. Drinking my non-alcoholic Arnold Palmer again. That number 26 seems to be a recurring number. April 26, 1986. Soviet Union dissolved December 26th, 1991. Back when I worked in a mattress factory, my locker number was 26. The hotel room in Pripyat that you have to go to get the thing is room 26.
Как дела, охотничьи?
I need to get to the Skadovsk.
Ну, не пуха.
Do I need to take anything with me? Maybe this. Thinking I might leave the rest of this stuff here. Should probably buy at least one med kit.
Что-то ты бледный. Может, укольчик сделаем? Счастливо. Не болей.
I had a feeling if I took a look around, there might be something in the vicinity. I'll just go ahead and sell him this. I'll buy 2 med kits and 2 bandages, and I'll still have 40,000. But do I really need that? I'll just buy two med kits. Part of me wants to maybe do some jobs here. You know what? I am going to go ahead and move on to Zatan.
Слушай, повезло тебе сегодня, дорогой. Только сейчас куплю задорого, продам задешево.
Might buy another ACOG. Lighter weight, lesser magnification, but that's fine. 3.5 power is just fine. And eventually, I'll be putting the tulip on the AK-104. And I will leave these here. Still have a good amount of money. Eventually, I do plan to save up 7 figures, but that's a long-term goal. Only so that I can... I'm only going to do that so that I can get the... what's it called? Deep Pockets or Heavy Pockets achievement. On the road again. He does the walk of life. Or the jog of life, as it were. The old cement factory, that's a fun place. Toscano. I don't feel like putzing around with any of yous. Really. In Oblivion Lost 2010, and I'm not sure if this is true for other versions of Oblivion Lost, you could sometimes get sausages off of Toscana. I didn't technically stab it, I hacked them up. Half-Life 2 flashbacks. How much fun would it be to drive an amphibious vehicle, airboat or otherwise, around this area? Oh, this AK is so much better than a Creek modified AK-102. Same type of sight. Or same type of scope. Simplifies logistics. First time I did the end game. Just a moment. Zatan. I'm pretty sure it's not supposed to be pronounced Zatin. Then again, Baton Rouge is also pronounced Baton Rouge. But that's derived from a different language, specifically French, which has a different structure to it, different architecture. What was I talking about before I got distracted by that? Maybe it'll come back to me. There's a stash that's either on this side of this bridge or the other side. I don't remember which side it's on. Might be this side. There it is. It's unmarked. Let's see if there's anything in it. There is. These can be used to refurbish barrels, right? And I do need to refurbish a 7.62 by 39 barrel. So I can fix up that AK-104. Maybe I should have brought that here. Well, why'd you bother fixing up the AK-102 and converting it to 5.45 then? Well, that sort of contains the answer right there. Once I have that AK-104 fixed up, and then either the 9A91 or the SR3M Vicker, then I'll have rifles in all 4 Recon Scout calibers. 5.45, 5.56, 7.62 by 39, and 9 by 39. Hooah! All bases covered. And remember, I prefer rifle caliber weapons over pistol caliber weapons, but eventually I do want to have my favorite weapons per caliber fixed up and available to me and ready to go. But for now, primary focus is on rifle caliber weapons. Of the Recon Scout Persuasion. Easy to walk right past that and not know there's a stash there. Some say the northern parts of the zone are more doom-ficult or more challenging than the southern parts of the zone, but I think that has more to do with how prone you are to going out there and hitting above your weight. Which can be rewarding. As we've seen in Le Mans. Which I still say is the ideal place to farm and grind.
Слушаю тебя. Как говорится, добро пожаловать на борт нашего болотного ледокола.
Nice armor. Well, I don't want to brag, but I kind of did disable it. Taking a moment to read this down here. Taciturn, that's an uncommonly used word. It has several synonyms that with fewer syllables. Brusque, is that how you pronounce that? Well, it sounds like exactly the kind of guy I'd want on my side if I was hunting mutants or fighting mono. Taciturn, I think that means something to the effect of surly. And I much prefer the word surly. I'll have to look that up. I have looked this up before, but I don't remember. It's just not a word it's not part of my personal lexicon. Maybe I should make it. Nah, I don't want to make it that. I like the word surly better, but I need to look it up to be sure that that's what it means. So don't quote me on that. Not my brand. I'll sell it right back to you. Not that I don't appreciate the gesture.
Будет чего интересного, заходи.
Maybe I'll buy
Наш
some.
Скадовск всегда на месте.
Maybe I'll buy a bottle of
Никуда не
Pilsner from you.
уйдет.
We'll see.
Чего тебе?
Слушаю тебя.
That's a response. Well, tough guy. I have to admit my battle suit helped a lot. I forgot about this. This is a this is a reference to something that Professor
Внимание!
Sakharov
Выдаю шутку юмора.
informs you about.
Сидят два сталкера
In
на
Shadow
берегу
of
озера.
Chernobyl.
Один другому говорит: насчет радиации я тебе чего скажу. Гонят, как не знаю кто. Я тут уже лет
That's so
5 шарюсь
Cronenberg.
безвылазно. Изменений никаких не заметил. Сам как думаешь? Да, фигня однозначно. Хотя, с другой стороны, чешуя-то в последнее время чешется все чаще.
Класс!
Well, they could be called flechettes. Actually, to be a flechette, does it have to have fins for stabilization? Or does flechette have more generic and or generalized definition. Garmata, crab, ganta.
Крышу срывает от жадности. Ты ему про аномалии, он тебе про хабар. Ни о чем думать не хотят, кроме бабок, пока кишки по веткам не разбросает.
You actually want one of those? Wouldn't you prefer the A2?
Послушайте, мужики.
The one that's actually worth using? Well, I'm going by the standards of my world, my timeline. And I think this guy...
Привет!
Yeah. This guy doesn't need any tools. So I might as well have brought that AK-104 here. This is a good hangout right here. Well, the entirety of this Gdańsk is a good hangout. Zaton Rouge. Not yet noon. Army warehouses, market, 100 rads, Yantar lab bunker. So that's just a bunch of missions to turn in. While I'm here, I might as well do this. Pretty sure I have enough ammo. Don't usually need to carry more than 10, 40 mils at a time, maybe 12. Did you need...
Привет, брат!
One of those, yes.
Ну что, есть что-то новое?
Take what I can get. Skinflint has given me thrice that before. Why do I sometimes have to click multiple times? It's so irritating. That only happens on certain maps, and this is one of them. I don't know what the determining factor is. These are fun to use, just because they're a classic. And like the Mosin Nagant, the Mauser Kar-98K predates the regime that made it infamous. I like to convert them to 7.62 NATO, deck them out with scope and sound suppressor. But they're most fun to use with iron sights. More safari-like that way. Israeli snipers in the late 1940s and possibly into the 1950s would use Mauser Kar-98Ks converted to 7.62 NATO. So the fact that you can do that conversion, that's authentic. That's a real thing. What's the price on that? Not bad. I still forget whether... I don't think I have one of these. I have a Vicar one. I don't need it right now, though. And I'm still over 40,000. I'm still tempted to buy some of these upscale gadget gizmos, but I reiterate, I'd rather buy my tech from the professor. I'm pretty sure he does have better prices. No matter what faction you belong to. Anything to do that's in the vicinity. This I can do. Why did I have to click that multiple times? So irritating. Oh, might as well chat it up while I'm here.
Слышали? В вагон-зоне спать нельзя. Случаются такие кошмары, что можно и не проснуться. Кто-то от разрыва сердца во сне коней клинит, а то и просто крышей поедет. Пьяный бред, похоже. Но, говорят, если приспичит, поспать значит, то на голову надо надеть шлем с сеткой.
I agree with this statement.
Все обойдется. Верно. Кстати, говорят, военные сталкеры таких шлемов какие-то так силы. Вот это да.
Ёлы-палы, ну надо же. Вчера Припять видел.
Side disruptions, not sea disruptions.
Сказал бы, кто месяц назад, ни за что б не поверил.
Ah, you left out an Oxford comma. I can't do business with the likes of you. Forget about it. I can't stand the non-use of Oxford commas.
Слушаю тебя.
I hate the Associated Press style
Чего заскучали, мужики?
for proselytizing the false doctrine of
Ну, привет.
not using Oxford commas. Well, that's a basic one. I think I have all my basic ones installed. Yeah. I want maxed out ballistic protection. I'll favor burn over electric. I definitely want this. And this. And of course I don't have to choose between anything with either of those. I have one of these, but it's like I'm always saying, it's very slow health restoration. This will not save you in the middle of battle. So I'd rather reduce weight, which is roughly equivalent to increasing your payload capacity even more. Because minus 3 kilograms, basically that's plus 3 kilograms worth of ammo, meds, whatever, that you could be carrying. And between these two, stamina recovery, definitely. Well, I just have the one mutant hunt to do. Oh, wait. Let's talk to Nimble. Could you please not block the staircase?
Вон старший стоит, так ты к нему обращайся.
Of course, the moment I decide to go up there and talk to Nimble is the moment this guy decides to block the way there. And you know what? This reminds me of the real world. Just earlier today, I went to the grocery store to get some steak sauce. And I saw a vehicle parked right at the inlet of traffic with a pedestrian talking to the driver. And I'm thinking to myself, you have all these spots you could be doing that, all these open parking spaces where you could do that.
Привет, брат.
And this is Indiana. We're supposed to have that whole Hoosier hospitality thing going on. And that's not an isolated incident. I see people clogging aisleways in grocery stores a lot. Just congregating to chat it up. And there's nothing wrong with congregating and chatting up. Just move off to the side of the aisle instead of spreading yourselves out across it. That way you can do what you want to do, and you're allowing others to do what they want to do too also as well. This counts as a Recon Scout weapon. This isn't as good as it should be. It's handicapped with ridiculous muzzle jump. Even if you dedicate it to tri-burst mode only. And even if you have it fully upgraded with all of its recoil reduction and handling characteristics and everything else, it still sucks. And that irritates me because this should be a lot better than it is. This one's excellent. This has an upgrade, a third tier upgrade that gives it a tri-burst mode. But even with maxed out fire rate, the fire rate is so slow that the tri-burst mode is completely pointless. If I were to buy in, I wouldn't buy any of these. I forget whether or not I said I would or wouldn't buy anything from Nimble, but there's only one thing that interests me here that counts as a Recon Scout weapon, and it's not this. It's this. The Fraser. Look at that damage. Damage! The top tier. Well, I actually think the best, the green, the I don't know if it's green or camo version of the UMP-45. I think it really is, for the most part, on par with this. Which, when you look at the in-view weapon model, and the inventory icon does indicate this, it has this red-black, duty-looking color scheme that looks awesome. WA-2000 overrated, especially because at 6-round mag, like, what's the point? It should be at least 10. Oh, I'm tempted to accept this. I'm sure I'll be heading back that way at some point. How did this happen? What is this, the Philadelphia experiment? We've got bores fused to the hull of the ship. not so much now. Leave that here. That. I've got more food and drink than I really need, but I prefer it that way. Better than the opposite extreme. 11:57. Still just a little bit before noon. Let's see what's closer. It'll probably be this. Zoop, zoop, zoop. Well, looks approximately equidistant. Triangulated mode. Triangulated mode. Where have I heard that before? Oh yeah, there was this show on MTV back in the day called Dead at 21. And there was something called triangulated mode. And I don't remember what that actually is or what it means. Some kind of Matrix-like simulation, if I recall. And they called it that for a reason. I think it required, like, a bare minimum of 3 mines for it to work. Don't quote me on that. I never actually watched that show on a regular basis, just like I never watched Misfits of Science on a regular basis. But I remember both of those shows having kind of cool concepts. Anyway, if that is what triangulated mode is, well, that's kind of like the C consciousness, just with 3 instead of 7. Echo 3 to Echo 7. Wow, that took way more than I was expecting. But I got some AP rounds out of it. So I used up the cheap common stuff and scored at least a few rounds of the better stuff. Does that really make it worth it? Who cares? Squeegee. That's the first time I've seen that name. Did the scientist drop the sawed-off, aka Lupera, and did that one, ex-scientist I should say, and then the other zombified stalker picks it up right away? I wasn't really paying close enough attention as it was happening. At some point in the future, I might be fighting monolith goons. Around these parts. Wonder how close I am to scoring the well-dressed achievement. Maybe I've already scored it and didn't notice. It's hard to maintain good relations with mercs in the military because they don't commonly offer missions that interest me. I could slip right by them. But what fun would that be? What were you shooting at? Beekeeper. I'm not surprised your AN-94 jammed. Ha! You guys mad at me for destroying those zombified stalkers to death? Now I see at least one of yours. Frivolous tactical reload. Gotta be at least one more. There's a stash right there. Hey! And some grub. My favorite kind. Gonna ditch this Nico. Don't need its parts. Wouldn't mind having a few spares. Nine by 39 weapons. painful having to leave behind Saiga 12s and AN 94s. Beekeeper. $74.5. That'll do. Let me take a swig of my drink. Now. Gotta be at least one more. Is he trying to sneaky breaky upon my funky self? I bet it's going to be plain old basic annoying mutants. I want to battle bigger, tougher ones. Preferably ones that don't have X-Men powers. So, pretty much mostly chimeras and pseudo-giants. How am I doing on ammo? All right. I might or might not break down and or sell old ammo from now on. I know I've probably said that before. But I've got what I've got for now. Again, sometimes I think I'm seeing or feeling the ground shake when it's really not, because I'm trying to anticipate a pseudo-giant so that I can get myself psychologically ready for it. Even though it doesn't really make any difference whether or not you're psychologically ready for it, since you can't dodge its pseudo-stomps with perfectly timed jumps, which is something you should be able to do, and I'm going to harp on that forever. I've never understood why anyone would take away that ability from us. What if it turns out to be a controller behind that rock, or a bureau? Now watch, a chimera will kill me while I'm carving this thing up. Maybe not. Couldn't even dodge it. That pisses me off so much. Now, why did that only take 2 strikes? 2 swipes? I'm wearing this battle suit. It's supposed to be better than that. What's so special about this bloodsucker? Why does a bloodsucker have the same offensive capability as a chimera? Roughly. Turned out one was enough. But I don't care too much about using up RGD-5 grenades. I can easily replenish my supply of those. I prefer thermite anyway, since I usually, not always, but usually handle my HE frag needs with 40 mics. Alright, fine. You're gonna make me do this again. There. Why did he make it so hard? Not hard, but tedious. Like, didn't someone beta test this and find that to be tedious? A normal human should find that sort of thing to be tedious. Pulse. Always the slog. Slog in the bog. In S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2, there are actually frogs that hang out in bogs. I like that. An ecologist, especially a field scientist, would love that sort of thing. If I turned this into a machine pistol, I'd have two different machine pistols and two different calibers. Weight's doing alright. You know what? I should go back to the docks and stash all this stuff. The fact that I have to constantly tell my PDA what priority I want listed, and before doing that, I have to click on everything and make sure only one thing is highlighted. The fact that I have to do that's just, it makes the game feel like work. just what the rupture protection is. It's not great, not terrible. I went on a cruise with my family once when I was 13 back in 1993. It was Disney's The Big Red Boat. That was fun. The cuisine was magnifique.
Ну, здорово. Какими судьбами на нашу посудину?
Exactly. Why did I have to click multiple times? $49,001. I could have used 40 mils. On that beast creature. Should only take one, if I recall. And I'll keep the higher calorie stuff with me and stash these. Sure everything is combined, just so everything is organized. I could separate these two and put one into here, just so it's a full box of 5. That's bordering on nitpicky, then again. Falls within the purview of organized, so it's fine.
Да чё?
And Owl isn't interested in old ammo. I like having at least 2 of these on me. You're Owl and I'm Rabbit.
Давай, давай, не задерживайся.
Yet this is not a storybook world. You ever see Watership Down? I didn't watch Watership Down as a kid. I'll go ahead and make a hard save. I might as well save over this. Could have bought some fresh ammo. Then again, my reserves total out to more than 300 rounds all combined, and that should be good enough. Should be. Zeus is stabbing the sky with lightning. I've talked about this before, but I'll reiterate. The Spartans were not good guys. They were authoritarian, totalitarian collectivists. They did not fight for freedom. They didn't believe in freedom. Freedom has one definition: individuality. Quoting the late but still great Rush Limbaugh. I think he said that back in the 90s. The Spartans believed that the individual was an expendable commodity of the state. And they practiced collective ownership of property. So they were economically proto-soc and politically proto-fasc. Kind of like Nazbol. The purpose of the agoge was to break down the individual will. Break down the will of the individual. Rob the individual of their sense of identity. And then mold them into a mindless puppet. I might as well eat something. And drink something. Freedomers heading toward the bar? Yeah, that happens. In Oblivion Lost 2.2 and Oblivion Lost 2010. Sometimes bandits, higher level bandits would try to, I guess, lay siege to the bar. Oh, there's a pseudo giant over there, and here I am having to waste time putzing around with. How were they able to kill me with so few strikes? Well, I'm wearing a battle suit. I'm wearing a battle suit. Why is it that I can walk up this hill but I couldn't walk up those other hills? Seriously? I didn't know you things could do that. You see how my axe went right through it twice? Well, how is it that you're not able to kill me right away? Well, now you can. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. Denied. Take the fucking cats out of this game. /mod. There's no reason a cat should be able to kill me with 2 strikes. Two swipes, whatever. Did I make this jump? Yeah. Good. I'm sick of having to deal with mutants whose attacks I can't dodge. That shouldn't be a thing. You see that shit? Denied. You see how it course corrected? I shouldn't have to explain this. This is basic shit. S.T.A.L.K.E.R needs to be held to a higher standard than this. Deserves to be held to a higher standard than this. For fuck's fucking sake. I wonder if that pseudo giant is still there. Now that I'm thoroughly exhausted from a couple of cats. Just cats. Why is it always cats? I'd almost consider wasting 40 mils on those fucking cats. Just to make a statement. A statement of defiance. I'm not passing up the opportunity to hunt a pseudo-giant. There it is. I think it sees me. Maybe it doesn't. Jump. Pressing the jump key and it's not responding. Now it is. Pseudo-stomp creates a shockwave, not an air burst. What? Sometimes they can withstand more than 2. Though that's atypical. And I'm pretty sure I did smack it in the face twice. With 40 mics. Really, once again, I'm having to point this out. Sometimes you can walk up a hill and sometimes you can't. What's the determining factor? Why can't you just be consistent about it? Inconsistency is an insult to the player. Just like continuity errors in movies are an insult to the audience. Yeah, I'm going full-on nerd rage this episode. $29 rounds. Oh well. I've already scored the infantile pleasure achievement. .792 Mauser, which is its true measurement, 7.92. Why do we Americans call it 8mm Mauser? Come on, come on. Now I use this one. You jump. Okay.
Shake it.
Do over. I hate how much time it takes in between strikes with the axe. Why can't video games figure this out? You don't strike with an axe like that. You don't take all that extra time to bring the axe all the way up. It's up, down, one fluid stroke. Just like Bowen explains in the movie Dragonheart. One fluid stroke might be a misnomer since it more resembles a figure eight. Why can cats kill me faster than lurkers can? I wanted to clean that whole place out. Now I don't feel like it. Take your time climbing those stairs. It's not like there's a Pyrogeist conjuring its magic or whatever. Of course, there would be two of them. Go ahead and use this. See if that hurts me. No. I still remember that happening all those episodes ago. A pulse killed me through a concrete floor in the wild territory at the construction site. Really? Incorporeal phantasms. Don't want to waste EP rounds on ghoulies or whatever. If I recall, I need to go this way. Also, if I recall, there's nothing of interest down there. Down that stairwell. Might be a few knickknacks and doodads lying around. What's my weight? Looking good. $57280. I wonder if there's a significance to that number. Symbolic significance, or if it's just a serial number. In Shadow of Chernobyl, the AK, which is an AKS-74, has the serial number 07201975, which to me looks like a date in US format. July 20th, 1975. And the AN-94, again in Shadow of Chernobyl, has the serial number 07201995. Oh, maybe I was supposed to go down that stairwell. There's nothing there to push me. I got pushed almost off the edge just because of this, which wouldn't happen to a normal person. Video game logic. one of the banes of my existence. And right there, I tried to jump so that I would be more likely to land here. Fortunately, I did, but the diagonal, call it angularness of the ceiling prevented me from doing that. I thought for sure I was going to fall. Even if I had, not a huge deal, but it's the principle of the thing that bothers me. What if there was more fall damage? Like in S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2. The core game, the original trilogy, not enough fall damage. S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2, too much fall damage. Once you identify the path. Yep, that's exactly the way I should have gone the first time. For some reason, my memories got mixed up. Strike that, reverse it. In other words. And there it is. It's heavier than some armors. The only trader I know of who sells gauss ammo is the Clear Sky trader. That reminds me of Quake 2. Oh, once I build up my AK-104. Really? Ugh. I think we've all had enough of this video game, this cliche of video game logic where a melee strike is performed as a sweeping strike like this, but the only part that makes contact is right in the middle. It's insulting. And a Steven Seagal style knife play in Gamma. Your character is constantly flipping knives around for no reason. That's also insulting. I know I've talked about that before. Well, I'm going to keep harping on it until it's no longer an issue. Looks like a lurker over there got zapped. Good. but yeah. Is that, yeah. Well, that'll be worth something. What's that? Nothing. Oh, I don't trust this shit. Yep. That's bait. Screw it. I'm Audi 5000. As we used to say. Well-dressed achievement. I wonder if you can check your progress on that. I've just never really thought to do that. You can check your progress on achievements in the Borderlands games. Shotgun repair kit. And of course, I just had to bring this along. I should have bought a backpack, turned it into a stash. Now, I slipped by those cats, didn't I? Which means I might still have to put up with them. And that's really going to cheese me off. Always the slog. Always the tedium. I'm always expecting an emission or psi-storm, not sea-storm, psi-storm, to occur whenever I'm overloaded like this, over-encumbered. Should have just left that bore as it was. I could drop its parts on the ground. I probably should. Not like they're all that valuable. like that. There. Part of me wants to go over there, look for an artifact, but then I'd have to... I could drop that. And this. I don't like being a litter bug. That's not in my nature. Get it over with. You can slip in and out of here and get what needs to be got without even having to toss any bolts. Really? Ugh. Well, there we go. That makes up for the previous missed opportunity and having to ditch those things. Not going to be a litter bug. I'm not going to make a habit out of that. I'm also not going to go back for that stuff. I'll let the zone claim it. swampy parts of the zone remind me of the game reserve just down the road from where I live. I've been going out there since I was an 80s kid in the 80s. Since even before I had a mullet, which I kept till I was 16. Then I finally cut the mullet. Got that rat's nest off my skull.
Ну, привет.
Я слушаю.
He gives this Gauss rifle back to you, so
Музыкант из тебя еще тот.
I don't think I'm not really sure if it matters whether you unload it or not.
Центр зоны тоже мне. Артефактов
Center
вкусно
zone is
плакал.
at center zone. We'll just have to see. I'm gonna leave it unloaded, and we'll see if he gives it back to you loaded. Because if he does give it back to you loaded, that's one way you can score an extra 10 rounds.
3-4 таких похода, как вчера. Да если б еще хабар не хуже. И все. Завязываю с зоной нахрен. Все, музыкальная пауза.
A little bit skimpy, don't you think?
Класс!
Yeah, but you're not using an LMG. You're using a GPMG. More specifically, Zulu's PKM. Why? Where does this idea come from that everything belt-fed is an LMG? As long as it's capable of being fired from a standing position. The caliber also makes a difference. In modern nomenclature, that is. I know nomenclature has changed throughout the decades.
Да, вот ведь как грустно все выходит. Послушайте, мужики.
Northwest doesn't need a hyphen. Omit hyphen. Did I mention I used to be a proofreader? That was before I worked at a mattress factory. That word is pronounced eidolon. It means something to the effect of phantasm or apparition. But I think as a name it would sound more menacing if we pronounced it Eidolon. That sounds like a Sith Lord's name. Darth Eidolon. Eidolon doesn't really sound all that menacing, but Eidolon does. I've read that it's possible to kill him to death without using a Gauss rifle. So I wonder what would happen if I gave the Gauss rifle to S.T.A.L.K.E.R.
Кусок бы мяса такой здоровый, чтоб прям с вертела. Скворчащий, сочный. Неплохо, неплохо. За одну ходку 2 ночные звезды. Если так и дальше пойдет, в гробу я видал ваш хваленый клондайк.
Not ready yet. I had to click that 5 times. Why? Why? Explain that to me. Why 5 times? Please. Ugh.
Чего заскучали, мужики?
Как говорится, добро пожаловать на борт нашего болотного ледокола.
He doesn't care. Rogue, I mean, doesn't care how long you take. Hiding from some. Why does everyone assume I'm hiding from someone? Why can't you ever assume that that there's a purpose to what I'm doing? I go where I go and I do what I do. Why did I put two rounds followed by 8? When it's 10 in a mag, why not just move 10 at a time? Ugh. Why is everything cheesing me off? Well, because things like this shouldn't be happening. It's video game logic. It's insulting. I'll sell you this. And this. And I'll do for you.
Да чё ты топчешься? Если есть что, выкладывай. Нет, проваливай.
By the way, if the RNG goblin or gremlin or whatever is against you and you're not finding any sets of basic tools, this guy. Spleen! Oh, that's a cheap one. What are you offering? $25.95. I know the professor will offer more. Worth its price and its weight. But I prefer the RPD and the M249. Both lighter weight, and they both use cheaper, more common, and lighter weight ammo. Any Western style 40 mics available? No. I could buy more ammo. sell him this. Agilin and Aquatabs. I'm pretty sure Aquatabs means the same thing as Aquatabs, but don't quote me on that. I'm just going by what it looks and sounds like. And I know that doesn't always work. According to the info, 545 AP might actually be better than 556 AP. This is what I really want.
Иди, нечего тебе тут делать.
Once I get my AK-104 fixed up. Not yet 7 o'clock. Did you see that? Right there. When I'm facing this way. What is that? It's not crashing the game. I guess I don't really need to worry about it. Now I need to decide what to take back and what to leave here. This and this are definitely coming back with me, along with all these parts. Mutant parts. Nemiroff vodka's coming back with me. I can leave some 40 mils here. I can go ahead and save over that. Sell that right here, right now. Take all the parts of the tougher mutants. Had some stuff. Had some pills. Pills here. Pills here to sell to you. Need that for possibly for fixing up either an AK-104 or a Vicker or a 9A91. We'll just have to see. I can leave those here. We'll take that with me. Leave some food here. busted way down. That's busted way down. I'll leave the old ammo. And all the pistol caliber ammo. Gonna leave a harmonica here. 540 mils. 10 Gauss rounds. So let's see. Why not build the flash once again? Well, okay. Powerful enemies. Okay, that's something different. Why not build the flash into the gun itself? Why build it into the magazine or cassette or whatever? By the way, the S.T.A.L.K.E.R G11, instead of using magazines, it uses cassettes, or they're called cassettes. I was going to sell this. Ah, you know what? Screw it. Tired of back and forthing too much. Pretty sure I should be able to get back to Jupiter. More specifically, Yaniv Station. Is that just clouds moving, or are we going to have some kind of storm / blowout / emission? I know what you're thinking. You're gonna wait till I've trottled my way the hell over there. No comment.
Обнаружен.
What kind of reload was that? You know... You don't slap and tap a rock and lock mag. You just don't do that. So dumb. Some guns have 2 different reload animations depending on a few different factors, like if you're doing a tactical reload. Really, 20 rounds, and nothing happened. 20 rounds of EP. Denied. Tired of wasting resources. Whatever they have isn't worth this much time, effort, trouble, etc. Just step over the rail. Don't make me have to press the jump key and lose all the rest of my stamina. Please. Almost looked like someone was sneaking up behind me with their flashlight on. Or headlamp. But that's the waning daylight. Eking and or peeking through the clouds. Can I get out this way? I don't think I can. Ugh. I need to go around this building and head south. But of course, I can't get here by going this way. At least I don't think I can. Pretty sure there's an artificial barrier over there. And that pisses me off. Wait, I'm facing south now. Okay, never mind. Come on, Camelback. I'm really going to have to replace this plain Jane Camelback with one of the more upscale stamina booster devices. Collect the whole set. Eventually I plan to have a bare minimum of 5 of each of my favorite devices that can be worn here. Why 5 and not 4? Well, because I plan to eventually buy and upgrade an SSP-99M Sapphire. And it has 5 slots once fully upgraded, if I recall. Always the slug. If this is as good as one regular Camelback does, why even bother putting it in this mod? It doesn't do its job good enough, well enough. I might as well meet the mercs while I'm here. I need to build up my goodwill with them anyway. I'll ask around for some mission quest things. First, I have to wait for my stamina to replenish. It's always the stamina. Ugh. I said I wouldn't use any artifacts, not even the Heart of the Oasis, which has a lot of negative effects anyway. I might rescind, not rescind, rescind that stipulation. rescind and resend are two different words. They're not interchangeable. See also versus and verse. I know I'm harping on that all the time. And it's overarching, not overarching. Your rifle is poking through you.
Если что, к командиру, с ним беседуй.
Holding down the strafe key and I'm not strafing and it's making me move weird.
Да неохота мне болтать. Иди с командиром.
If my goodwill with you guys was better, would you be less prone to ignore me? Well, screw it. That's nothing. You have like a
Если
package?
что, к командиру, с ним беседуй.
Not doing that. I prefer to find those rather than buy them. Now I can take my time doing whatever I want until I feel like getting back to Rogue, and he doesn't care how long I take. Now that I've done this much of my adventure quest thing, I can start using fast travel. Not like if I had really wanted to, I could have started using it before, but I wanted to. I didn't want to. I wanted to get some stuff done first. See if there are any marked stashes around these parts. Well, there's one right there. Right next to Yanov or Yaniv Station. There's another right next to the smiley face. Muscle Man. That reminds me of Borderlands 1. There's a type of shield called the Torg Muscle Man. And if I recall, it's the best Torg shield. And it's especially good for Morty. Now I'm going to make a beeline for Yaniv Station. And yes, bees do fly in straight lines on occasion. Not while they're patrolling, but after their shift is done and they're packed up their cargo on their legs and their bodies, being geared toward efficiency, they then hightail it back to the hive, and not all bees build hives, the same kind of hives. Depends on what kind of bee we're talking about. And some of them are non-colonial or solitary. Same's true for ants. And different kinds of bees make different kinds of honey. Great. Didn't even take one down with me.
I fucking hate enemies you can't dodge or block or parry. And it's not clip. A clip is a device other than a speed loader used for loading a magazine or cylinder. If you're using an SKS, then yeah, it's a stripper clip. Unless it has a magazine conversion.
Oh. Just get up and over, pile. Is there a bureau? If I took the scope off this rifle, come on! Ugh. I can't believe I have to wait for my stamina to replenish while I'm on a ladder, even while I'm on a ladder. Which, yeah, I know, that does make sense. Climbing a ladder does take stamina, but still. And why can't you have it so that the stamina bar has to go all the way down before you're actually out of stamina? Would that make too much sense, or what? Let's see if there's anything in here. No. Might as well get that out of the way. And there he is. Did that damage him at all, I wonder? I'm thinking it did. Didn't have to waste a 40 mil. Your parts I will take. I think they're... I don't know for sure if they're more valuable than bloodsucker parts, but the people I usually do mutant part mission quest things for are more commonly asking for Bureau parts than for bloodsucker parts. And of course it would be old. It's above me. It's up in there, whatever it is. I know that if I go in there, I'll get zapped to death. So screw it. A little early for night vision. Still some light left in the sky. That's pretty. Take one moment to appreciate that, and then a bloodsucker comes up behind you. And does its Reaper thing. Like those mutant vampires from Blade 2. They got nothing on Pearl. Great. Didn't even get a chance to do a denial. Now I'm wondering, does this armor have less rupture protection than the Beryl 5M? What kind of damage does a pseudo stomp do to you? Assuming you're not getting physically stumped, but rather the shockwave is hitting you. That should count as impact damage, right? Not rupture damage? Damage. Again, why is my stamina depleting so fast? I'm hungry but not starving. I'm thirsty but not dehydrated. My payload weight is in the yellow, but I'm not over encumbered. And I'm wearing a camelback. And I'm only noticing these things on this character because I'm playing this character differently. I've never done a thematic run of this game / mod before. I might as well refer to it as its own game since it's a standalone mod. Standalone mods we can think of as being their own games, right? I should test those gray plates that you can put in here since they offer rupture protection. I should see what happens if you wear 3 or 4 of them. If they're able to stand up to big bad cat and boar attacks. This suit can withstand scratches and bites from snorks and lurkers, but doggone cats can tear right through it. Boars, okay, sure, that I can understand. In real life, boars are kind of like walking tanks, and they're mean, and they will gore you if they get half a chance. The boars have gored you to the core. Alas, King Arthur is no more. The little King's Quest reference. Pretty sure I've deployed that reference at least once before. Now I'm lost, because I've had to go a different way in order to avoid tedium. I could visit the scientists. Press that first and then that. Is there a mission to turn in the heart of the oasis? I remember Professor Herman's assistant, whose name escapes me at the moment, mentions the heart of the oasis. One of these days I'm going to have a S.T.A.L.K.E.R. One of these days my battle suit will be fully upgraded. And despite all this trouble I'm having with low rupture protection, I'm still going to prioritize max ballistic protection. Died to one Toscano?
Здорово, дружище!
The very thing that makes them dangerous is they usually attack in swarms. Light show. Is that a delayed reaction? Light travels faster than sound, so it would have made more sense to have seen the pulse go off and then heard the noise a split second afterward. That's an awfully dark corner. Not a big deal.
Привет!
Tukarev sounds like Tokarev. So you aren't interested in any kind of tools.
Удачи тебе!
That stuff looks kind of retro. Just put wood trim on everything. I actually like that motif.
А, подходите. Что?
Oh. I'll see about that. Now all the good stuff is available. Almost all of it. One thing remains, the real exoskeleton. But of course, I'm not permitting myself the use of that as a recon scout. This, on the other hand, I am interested in.
Опять сапожища хреновые подсолы. Что у них совести совсем нету у этих. За неделю подошли коплыка.
The sapphire and the ruby are the best ones. Their specialties are, apart from both of them having balanced exploration stats, psychic for the sapphire and burn for the ruby. Do you have a S.T.A.L.K.E.R detector? You have a Velis.
Здравствуйте. Всегда рад видеть нового человека в нашем бункере.
Save your battery power on that headlamp. It doesn't even have a strap. I've never actually noticed that before. He mentioned Klondike. Basically means gold mine in this context. I think, if I recall, what the Foxtrot Sexy headphones referred to these as sombreros. And that's exactly what they look like, dancing sombreros. It's one of those insulators off a power line pylon. Oh, 2,200 hours. Don't need to go to sleep just yet. Why are you wearing a necktie in the zone? Why do we all have to wear these ridiculous ties? You too. I used to work in the sterile lab of an orthopedics plant, and I wore a lab coat that was kind of like these, but the zipper went all the way up or all the way down. However you prefer to think of it. More than just a lab coat we had to wear because it was a sterile lab. Want to guess how much money I made? Jack Monkey Squat, let's just put it that way. Oh, getting hungrier and thirstier.
Неплохо, неплохо. За одну ходку 2 ночные звезды. Если так и дальше пойдет. В гробу я видел ваш хваленый клондайк.
That's not too heavy. Let's see if that takes place in the immediate vicinity. It does. I could go get that done right now. I might as well have a snack and a drink. Should stash the heavy stuff I have that's got my payload in the yellow. Watch me walk right into an anomaly. Well, that snack and drink was really all I needed to get my stamina back to something resembling halfway decent. Halfway decent. I do emphasize halfway. And I'll resist the temptation to take a job from Trapper. Unless it's a mutant part mission quest thing. Let's see about that.
Здоров.
Cosmos. That's a cool name. You don't want any mutant parts.
Ну, что без засечек?
Oh, you know what? I bet this is going to require a scientist suit and an exploration suit, a bubblehead suit. What kind is that? Of course, it couldn't possibly be basic rules. Come on, what's going on? This is going to piss me off if I've screwed myself over. This is going to require the chemical protection of one of those high-end bubblehead suits. And again, I didn't spend too long in there. Good. Now, if I was hunting for artifacts, that would be a different story. I see you. If you're hunting for artifacts in those anomalous fields that are saturated with heat or toxic chemicals, that's when you really need a high-end exploration suit. SSP-99 series. A SIVA will do, but in Anomaly, the SSP-99 series completely outmodes and outclasses the SIVA. Of course, just no comment. Oh, you. Any more? Any more? Almost. Double Foxtrot Sierra. Why can't we just walk past each other? Litter bugs, I'm telling you.
Да-да, я слушаю.
Not all nerds are fastidious types. Not even worth my time. And I took a brief look at how much he was offering for those dud artifacts. I'm pretty sure Professor Sakharov will offer more. I don't know for absolute sure, but I think so. Should have waited till I actually got outside before I turned my night vision on. Oh. Left all my walkie-talkies elsewhere. We've got Philadelphia experiment going on here. 2 people existing in the same place at the same time. By the time I get back to you, you'll probably be dead. SG-550 with an M203. Though technically it should have a Gaverov SOTS 97. Abbreviated GWA-97. But here's the kicker. Gaverov SOTS is 4 syllables. GWA is 5 syllables, which means it's 20% more efficient to just say Gaverov SOTS, which means something to the effect of rifle attachment. Correct me if I'm wrong. And that's the type of grenade launcher it did accept in the original trilogy. Misidentified as an M203, but actually a GL5040, that's its factory name, or Gaverov SOTS 97, that's its military name. The ST-550 is also called Sturmgewehr 90. And the original 1990 model is the reason why you can't mount a SUSAT scope on it in Shadow of Chernobyl. Talking about the plain Jane standard issue SG-550. It's because it was made at a time before Picatinny rails became standard. It does have its own scope with its own mounting system, but it's not available in the zone. There are those 2 scoped versions you can get, carried by 2 Freedomers. $57.9. Well, that was a load off, I guess. I need to replenish my ammo supply. I need to build this thing up. Starting with the barrel. From now on, I probably will be using fast travel instead of going all the way through the Red Forest over and over and over again. Fix what
Ну как оно, сталкер?
Привет.
what parts I have on hand. Wait, did I have a file? I left all my files behind. big deal. Now, should I go ahead and buy an orange rifle fixie-majig kit? I wonder if I'll be able to get it up to 75%. I'm guessing probably not, with only two. Oh, that's right. You don't even have. You don't have the stuff I need, and I don't have a basic set of tools, which you need. And I've got everything else you need. What percentage is this at? Well, 31. Almost 1/3 condition. Better than one would expect. Now all we need is a deck of cards. Come on, just take the handful of cartridges. Don't make me click and click and click and click and click to take every individual cartridge. Or two at a time, or what have you. Just take an entire unit at a time. Like half a mag's worth at a time. Whatever mag's worth means. Typically that means 30 rounds.
Слушай, повезло тебе сегодня, дорогой. Только сейчас куплю задорого, продам задешево.
Sell all the old stuff. I had a sound suppressor down here. That one. Don't need that one. Public Broadcasting System. As a kid, I never really thought about what that meant. Maintaining my circadian rhythm. Not circadian rhythm, circadian rhythm. Time to break the fast. Not going to travel anywhere just yet. I'll decide where to go and what to do in the next episode. For now, things are looking pretty good. This was episode 26. Right. So I need to save over the AA. I think I'll go ahead and do this also. What does this number 1 mean? Eco 1. That doesn't really matter. I should have made it Eco 2. Now, you know what? Screw it. Simplify the nomenclature. Let's play 1 Eco 27. That should do nicely. And a backup, failsafe, hard save. And the obligatory quick save that comes after. Alright, looking good. Till next time, catch you on the flip side.